What's up and what's going on, everybody? This is Al, Poker with Alex, and welcome to the channel. It is Saturday, May 9th, and we got like an hour before we ready to head over to the poker room this morning and then get some cards up in the air. 1-2 no limit, low stake poker. And this right here is question. Do you ever wonder sometimes when you see poker players come into the room, or what you consider poker players? I mean, we all come in there to play poker, so I look at you as a poker player. But when they sit down, you scratch your head and you're wondering how far did you travel to get to the establishment, right? How important was it for you to actually come and play and take the game, not so much by the book, but serious enough that you understand the book? You get what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying it is because I see so many players that come in and just murk the poker waters, right? They'll come in and they can't sit still. They can't be patient. They can't make the game look like it's a real setting, a real game that people are all there enjoying, right? You get some of these guys, they walk in, and as soon as they sit down, they gotta bring it, right? And these are the ones, if I had to put it on a level, when you go to college, right? And you're playing college football, you're playing college basketball, you're playing baseball. Not everybody's gonna make it to the pros. Not everybody. Sure, you got lucky and the school needed you, so they got you there and things like that. But when the true evaluation comes out about your level, it does not measure up enough to what the pros need, right? So I feel the same way when it comes to poker players, right? I grew up playing sports, so I always accept the challenge. Regardless if I'm playing sandlot, what we call it, sandlot football, sandlot basketball, things like that, gymnasium basketball when we just in the gym, show up at the church gyms, things like that, we're playing ball. I always looked at it on a level that I'm giving my best, right? I'm not trying to murk the waters. I'm not trying to tank the game, right? I'm not coming in there and fouling everybody. I'm not playing baseball knowing I can't hit the ball or knowing I can't catch the ball and all that kind of stuff, right? Why am I wasting my time? So you see where I'm going with it? So it almost makes you feel that sometimes when you're in that playing and you see these guys show up and I want them. We want them there, right? Because these are our fish. But I'm just always curious, right? How far did they travel? They don't live right next door. So why would you get up, get dressed, get in your vehicle, waste your gas, and then come into an establishment where you can come in and either be a winner or you can lose, but you go down fighting? You get what I'm saying? That means when you sit down at the table, you understand the assignment. You're not trying to say, hey, give me 300 in chips and lose your 300 within seconds, within minutes. Because the minute you sit down, because you are playing on a different level and strategy than what the book says. I mean, these are real facts. This is happening. And what it's leading up to is, for the last 2 days, I don't know if I'm on the downswing. I don't really think I am. I think the person just got lucky. 2 people got lucky on me, and it just worked out in their favor. Well, I want to say 3, because I know I did the right thing when I played. So I'm going into my story now. Day before yesterday, I'm playing, and I'm up and down. I'm not really gaining no momentum. I'm there. I'm sitting at the table. I'm not really catching cards. But when I do catch hands, I make a little bit, right, here and there. Or, I take down the pots, things like that. So I'm not really gaining no momentum. And this is going on for hours. I had pocket aces at least 4 times day before yesterday. The first time, I think I made about $80-some on them, because the table we were playing at is kind of a tight table. People playing the game the way it should be played, so I'm doing that. I made about $80 on that one. Not bad, but there are other pots that can get you a lot more money when you don't even have aces, and all of a sudden you see about $300-400 out there, right? Because everybody's got something. But when I had them, I hadn't really had anything. Nobody else to give me any pressure, right? So fast forward to later on during the day. I had pocket aces, and I had this guy who had just came in. And the first time he sat down, as soon as he sat down, he just raised. He didn't get a feel for the table. He wasn't trying to figure out who's who. I never seen him before. Somebody knew him. And he sat down and he raised. Well, of course, everybody folded except I think for two people. Flop comes out. They bet. Turn comes out. They bet. River card comes out. He goes all in, right? The other guy, he thought about it. He folded. And then it got around to another person. And he said, I'm all in. Went over the top by $14. $14. The guy had made, when he said he went all in, he put out like another all the rest of his chips. And I think it came out to an even $100. And when the other guy went all in over the top, he put $14 more on top. So the guy folded. And everybody looked around and said, did he know he only had to put in $14? And he was already telling on himself. So basically he said, oh, I ain't had no chance. He was trying to bluff. He said his card that he had was 4 high. That was it. So that means he probably had like a 3-4. 2-4, something like that in his hand, but all he had was a 4 high. And he said that's the reason why he folded. But that was the $14 that all he had to do was add in. Now, mind you, he doesn't know what the other player had. The other player may not have had anything either. So he doesn't know. I mean, I'm trying to remember and play it right. I'm thinking he folded. If he folded, then he folded because he didn't have a 4. Like I said, he went to the river, so a 4 wasn't out there. He didn't have a pair, so that's why he folded. I get it. But these are what I'm talking about. Now, let's move a little bit. I finally got pocket aces again. I made it, before it got to me, everybody was betting, and I think they were putting out like 15, right? So we had like 4 people put out 15. 15 times 4, that's what, $60? $60, right, in the pot. So I went ahead and I went 2 times over, basically. I made it 150, right? If anybody can read between the lines, then they'll know, hey, he's not playing because he is trying to take $60 down, right? I'm doing it because I have a winning hand. I got the best hand to start with, which are pocket aces. So I'm making 150. That same guy who folded for the 14 that he went out and just paid the man off and see what he got actually, he called, right? He had rebought and he called. So everybody folded and it's between me and him. I put them all in with that 150. They put them all in, and the flop comes out. I hit nothing as far as another ace, but there was nothing on the board that looked like it could be my aces. So, time to show. We both turned over our hand. He called me with a 5-9 offsuit. 5-9 offsuit. Now, mind you, I'm glad he called me. I'm mad that he hit, but I'm glad that he called because I wanted that call, right? And that was just his luck and my bad luck, right? My aces got cracked. That's what happens. And that does happen occasionally if you bet wrong, but I know I did everything right. Pocket aces again. This time, it gets around to me and they're betting. And I just said, you know what? I'm not folding them. I got the best starting hand again. Let's go. And so I make it 200 and something. And that put the guy that was to my right, I want to say he was a cutoff, and he had already made his mind up that he was going to call because he was the raiser. He raised. So I think he raised like $60 or $70. And what I was trying to do was say, okay, if you're going to do that, then I know I'm not folding. So let's see who got it. And I thought it was going to be between me and him, right? Once I put out that 200 and something, I thought it was going to be between me and him. What happens again? Same guy. The same thorn in my side. He calls again. It's between us three. Now, I don't like to run it twice. That's just not me. I hate it. I don't like it. I just say winner takes all because that's what we're there for. And I'm not trying to give you any chance to get part of your money back, right? If I lose, fine. I can live with that. But I know I got the best start in hand. So I'm not ready to, I don't hardly ever, the only time I do it is when we do bond pots. That's it. And the only reason we do it because you have to. You're supposed to in bond pots. You're supposed to, 2 boards, and that's automatic. So I'm not doing how many times you want to run it. I don't do that. And there's a lot of players that don't. A lot of players frown upon it. And that's another conversation, but I don't like doing it. So anyway, the guy to my right, the cutoff, he goes in for the rest of it, and he calls. Flop comes out. Queen, Jack, and I want to say King. It had to be because he had a straight. He came in with a 10 Jack offsuit. The guy, the cutoff, came in with a 10 Jack, got him a straight. Again, not mad, not worrying about it. That happens. I've seen people come in with a pocket pair of deuces against aces, and they get it all in, and the pocket be over $800, $900. And I've seen somebody do it back to back with pocket deuces, and both times hit it back to back. I've seen somebody do it with the 7 deuce back to back. 7 deuce won well over $1,200 in that pot because he just said he loves 7 deuce. The other guy said, hey, I got pocket deuces. I got a chance just like his aces. And those are facts. Anytime you got a pocket pair, depending on what you feel, if you feel that you can pull it off, then you go for it. In this case, the only thing that he could have and hope to have was that straight to beat me. Or he could have got me with 2 pair. No, you know what? I take it back. I think he called me with 10 queen because I got an ace. I had a set. I spiked the ace in the flop. An ace came out in the window. I didn't need to see that ace because if that ace doesn't come out, I win because he needed that to get it straight. So I'm trying to remember exactly what he had. It may have been 10 queen he came in with. This was the day before yesterday, so I can't really remember. So that happens. And that is not so much of a downswing because I did good yesterday. I actually made the money back, right? I made the money back. Now, I talked about how poker and stock is almost the same. It's an up and down. It's up and down. It just all depends on how much you can afford to lose in your stock. How much can you afford to lose in poker? It's an investment, right? As a poker player, basically the way I see it is, if you're playing this game, I can't see myself playing it for a living, right? Now, you do have the old time greats, the ones we see on TV that are being sponsored. These guys are professional. They're in the game getting backed. When you're playing it on our level, what we come in with is what we come in with, right? So as a retiree, I bring in what I can afford to play with, and it's my own personal investment strategy for myself. It's not building up a poker stash. I actually take my winnings and I put them in the bank. I take care of things that I may need to get or something like that. But as a retiree, right, I'm in a comfortable lane. I've said that before. So I never tell anybody to jump into poker and make it a living, right? Unless it's you. If it's you, do you, right? Nobody has a right to tell anybody what they need to do and what they shouldn't do, right? Everybody wants to judge, and I get it. I do it myself. We're all human. We do that. We got a lot of things that a lot of people see, and you may frown upon it, but unless you walk in that person's shoes, why are you judging? If it's not hurting anybody, health-wise. It's not causing anybody any stress. The person isn't coming to you to try to get your money out of your pocket so he or she can do what they want to do. Then we should not be complaining about what a person does with their life. Everybody has one life to live, and how you live it is up to you, right? Just don't, to me, I just say it should be lived comfortably where it doesn't cause any harm to anybody, including you. That's the way I see it. But that took place. So I don't think I'm on a downswing because I came back yesterday and got that part of that money back. So no big deal. It's a rebound win yesterday to get part of it back of what I lost. And I felt good about it. I felt good about it even when I lost. I didn't make a big deal about it. I just said he got lucky. But if we play that hand 15 times, I guarantee that 5-9 out of 15 times, he'll probably only win that one time. My pocket aces, I'll probably beat him and dominate him every time. You deal 9 players, give him a 5-9, give me the pocket aces, and I guarantee out of 15 times, because he won that one time, I guarantee the other 14, you probably don't even see it, right? I'm just guessing, right? He can get trips. We all know that. He can get a straight. It can all happen if he wants to. But a lot of times what I'm talking about is the value. Now, if we just go 2-2 and then say go for it, maybe he has a shot. But if I make it a high stake bet and he comes in with that, then he's almost taking himself out the equation. It wouldn't make sense to do it. But that's him. So he got lucky. I can put it like this. When it was all said and done, he walked out with rabbit ears. That's how he walked out the building, because it just didn't happen, which goes back to what I mean. Why do people get in there, get up, get dressed, get in their vehicle, drive, wasting gas a great distance just to come in and murk up the waters of the table? I mean, we want these people there. We do. Don't get me wrong. It would be boring, but that's good. Poker is supposed to be boring. When you got players that are really authentic and really playing the game on a level that it is respected, poker would be boring, right? But when you got people that come in, like I said, my man did, and do what they do, that is exciting, because 9 times out of 10, for the most part, they lose. They do lose, right? So again, I had pocket aces, man. 4 times day before yesterday. Out of 4 times, they only worked for me once. The other 2 times I lost big on them. The 3rd time when it happened, didn't even lose anything. It was almost after the flop came out. It was so obvious I had to fold them, because 2 kings. Just like yesterday, I had pocket aces. 2 jacks rolled out. The person called me. I made it $20, pocket aces. Me and this guy went heads up. And soon as the flop came out, it rolled jack, and something else. I had pocket aces. I had no chance at a flush or anything. No chance of a straight. He bet 20. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I already made it 20. I might as well keep going, right? So I called the 20 because I got a shot at the turn in the river card of another ace coming out. If another ace hits, then I'm going to hit a boat. We know this already. Did he call me with a pair of jacks? No. Right? I don't know that, though. He could have, because I made it 20. He came in, and I'm thinking if he did have jacks and 2 jacks came out, he needs to let me set myself up, right? So why would you bet 20? I'm thinking he just knew that I had a hand, and he's not going to think, and hopefully I'm not believing that he's got that. It wasn't that I didn't believe him, right? It was the fact that I knew I still had a shot. I knew he didn't have I didn't put him on a pocket pair of jacks. I didn't put him on that. I put him on just exactly what I thought he had. Maybe he had king jacks, something like that. He actually had 10 jack when he did that. 10 jack off suit. He's an all right player, good player, in my opinion. I know and I see him play, and I watch him work when he's on the table, and he has hands that, hey, if you bet it on a certain level, he sees he has opportunity, which he does. He can get a straight out of that. He can get that the trips like he did, which is what he got. So my pocket aces yesterday. I think I had them twice, and one time it held up again, and that time against him, it didn't hold up. And basically, I got on a tear where I was just getting ace this, ace king, ace queen, and I just kept spiking aces. And I was getting guys to letting them set themselves up. I was checking, letting them bet. I smooth call, and I'm watching the board because of the way I was running. I said, okay, I'm gonna play it different this time. I'm gonna watch the board and see what I can do. And I would check, let them bet. I would check, let them bet, and then when it looked like they had nothing, then I would go over the top, and then I would make a bet, and either they would fold or they would call, right? Because I never betted my ace, so they don't know what I'm trying to do. And I had a young man up there yesterday, never seen him before, so we hadn't had a run-in on the table. So he wasn't sure where I was at, and I just pretty much played the board. I'm not playing the player, I play the board. And he didn't play the board, he was trying to play me. And he didn't think I had what I had, and he was calling my hands, and I was beating him every time. So that's how I was able to get my money back, by just letting guys trap themselves. Let them trap. But that is what took place day before yesterday. And of course, anybody who sees this, when it comes to poker, like I said, man, I definition it by saying it's a side hustle for me. It's nothing that I am relying on. I have these poker rooms in my backyard. Texas has poker rooms. A great feeling if you love just playing poker. I don't go to casinos. I don't mess around with slot machines. I used to play blackjack. Don't get me wrong. I would play some blackjack back in my early days. But now poker is always and has always been the only thing that I love playing, because I don't see it like a lot of players that really play this game. They don't see it as gambling, right? Because they control the science behind the game. Once some cards are put in the air, that's your luck of what you get. After them 2 cards hit your hand, or 4 cards because you're playing PLO, now it's up to you to show your skill and show what you can do with it, right? And you can tell skilled players because when they're at the table, people respect their game. People respect their game, and they say, watch him. Don't mess with him. If he got it, if he bets, you best believe he's on to something. You'll rarely see him bluff, right? And there are a lot of players on the table. You'll rarely see them bluff. And when they bet, if you know you can't beat it, you better fold and don't think they're bluffing. There are some players that you call because and 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you're right. Sometimes it depends on what that board look like, and you'll say, I don't think you got it. But you know what? I'm so far off from this board that it's got me so confused of why you did that I might have to fold. I'm going to fold because I know that for me to call this, I better be right that you're bluffing. And my hand, I'm looking at it. I got part of that, but I don't have what it really takes to say, I think I'm making a good move here to call this. I've seen people call somebody with $300, and just because they thought that person was bluffing, they called it and won with a pair of 3s. There's an ace, there's a jack, there could be a 9 out there, whatever. And they just did not think. And the main reason they didn't think that is because that person put so much money out there that if you're there to make money, why would you bet so hard, right? A lot of players do that. They fail and forget. Once you put that bet out there, a lot of players can read in between the lines, and they're good at it. And I've seen players pull it off. Pair of 3s. Everything is out there that can beat you, and they'll say, good call. Person had a pair of 3s. The other person could have been chasing flush. He missed. He or she missed. So they shove and try to get you off the hand because they're first to act. But sometimes that other player is already here and thinking outside the box of what he sees. And he's saying, this person is probably chasing this. I'm thinking that's what they're chasing, right? And they didn't get there. And they call and they win with a pair of 3s. Seen that happen. Big pot. So, some guys know and some guys don't. The other thing is, like I said, but the big thing is, what are players thinking when they do what they do? Get up, get dressed, get in your car, waste gas, come to the poker room, and immediately start just throwing your chips away. You might as well just come to the table, sit down, buy in, and then take your chips, count how many people on the table, and then just divide them and just start giving everybody chips and then walk out the building. That's what it's like a lot of times. They turn over their hand and they're calling you with a 410. It's crazy how some of these players come into the building and you just thinking, how far did this guy travel to get here? Why? What's up with him? What's up with her? Do they not really understand poker? Why are they calling everything? Why are they raising every time when it gets to them? With nothing. Getting trapped, getting themselves set up. It's one of them deals. But poker is poker. Hey, that's why we love it. So with that said, I'm out. Y'all enjoy your day. Peace.